Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys some brimstone molly lineups on the new map Lotus. And before we get started, it's important to note that I'm doing these molly lineups on the highest graphic settings. And if you find this guide helpful, please consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more content like this in the future. Thanks. So starting with A site, the first molly I'm going to show you guys is for this left side plant next to default box. And for this, you're going to want to go back through A main and get to this area called root. And you're going to be tucking yourself into this corner right here. What you're going to want to focus on is these three leaves on this like curvy root. Right here, particularly where the three leaves originate from, you're going to want to line up that horizontal white line to the right of your stim beacon icon to the top of that, just like so. When you shoot this, it has pretty fast impact and should cover the entire bomb.
Right here. Molly!
So there may be situations where you may want to plant on the right side of this default box instead.
Drop.
And to do a molly for this, all you need to do is go to the same exact location next to root.
Right here.
Tuck yourself into the corner again. And what I use to line this up is you're going to want to focus on this curvy root and this first leaf. And you see how there's like a corner for where they both meet? That's where you're going to line up that horizontal white line to the right of your health bar indicator to where that meets right there. And when you shoot this one has a little bit slower landing, but should still cover the bomb and work out if you have an ult combo.
Right here. Molly!
So if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys know I love having mollies from enemy spawn because it keeps things unpredictable and adds variability into your play. So for this, you want to plant
Spike dropped
at these pile of green leaves at the back of A site. And you're going to make your way to A top to enemy spawn. And you see these boulders right here. All you're going to want to do is just run up until you can't move any further. And for this, you simply just need to aim your crosshair at this first tiny green leaf right here, on top of this roof. So you'll see there's three tiny green leaves. Just aim at the first one. When you shoot this, it should bounce once and land on bomb. And it's a pretty exposed plant. When you retake, you can slowly creep up here and peer over the top. And it's a pretty easy angle to defend.
right here. Molly!
So moving on to B site Lotus, I think this is going to be a very interesting site to do post plants on, because if you're actually able to get the plant down and get to your post plant positions, it's going to be super powerful. So the first molly lineup I'm going to show you guys is for the middle of site here on B site, because this is likely going to be the default. And for this, you're going to go to attacker spawn and find this box.
Right here.
Put your back up against this box right here. And for this lineup, what I use to line this up is the corner of this building right here. So just gonna focus on that, and I use my stim beacon HUD icon, the bottom left bracket, and line that with that corner of that building that I was just zoomed into, just like so. When you shoot this, it'll go over the top of the roof and bounce straight in, landing directly in the middle of that plant spot.
Right here.
If you want to play post plant on B site from A link instead, one plant that you can do is right here between these double boxes. And let's say you're on the A link side, a molly you can do is also from root. And for this, you're going to want to tuck yourself into this corner right here. And for this molly, what I use to line up is the top of this lotus flower, this top point right here. I use the white dot at the top of my molly HUD icon, and I line it up with that just like so.
Molly!
When you shoot this, it should bounce once. Cover the bomb. Pretty solid coverage, and you can easily creep out and just take this jiggle fight right here where they're going to be defusing.
Right here. Molly!
So the next model I'm going to show you guys is if you want to play post plant from C-Link instead. So for this, you want to plant on the right staircase right here in the middle.
Spike drop.
And go through C-Link, get to enemy spawn, and find this double stack of blue boxes here.
Right here.
Get up into this corner, and what you're going to focus on lining up is the bottom corner of this kind of dark rectangle right here. So this specifically. And what I use to line up with that is the vertical white rectangle above my molly HUD icon. And I use the right corner of that to line up with the corner that I was just zooming on earlier, just like so. And for this, it's going to be a jump throw, so make sure when you throw this molly, you hit jump at the same time.
Molly!
And where this should land is on that vertical staircase, as I was mentioning, after one bounce. And when you retake this, you're going to want to slowly creep up and just jiggle and take this fight where they're going to be defusing.
Right here. Molly!
So next I'm going to show you how to do a molly lineup for the exact same plant spot, but from a different location. So for this, you want to go through C-Link and find this little waterfall right here, and tuck yourself up against this corner. For this one, you're going to want to hit crouch, and you'll notice if you look at these kind of brighter leaves and the darker leaves, there's like a little gap right here. And what you're going to want to do is just aim your crosshair just slightly below so that you can still see that gap that I was just mentioning. So I'll zoom in again so you guys can see. So what you're going to want to do is just aim your crosshair so there's like a little gap there. Make sure you're still holding crouch. And when you shoot this,
Molly!
it should land in the exact same spot.
Right here. Molly!
So moving on to C site, this is probably one of the toughest sites to actually find mollies for because the walls are just super high. But don't worry, I got you guys. So for the first molly lineup, I'm going to show you guys is likely going to be the default plant on this map right here. Only because these walls aren't really bangable. You see? No bullet penetration. So most people are probably going to plant there because it's probably safe. And what you're going to want to do is go back through C main and find this little kind of like altar here.
Right here.
Center yourself against it. And for this molly lineup, you're going to want to focus on this specific leaf right here. And this corner is what you're going to want to line up with the right side of the top vertical rectangle above your molly HUD icon, just like so.
Molly!
When you throw this, it should bounce once and cover the entire bomb.
Right here. Molly!
So the next molly I'm going to show you guys is for this corner plant instead.
Spike drop.
If you want to play post plant and fight them from here, because
spike.
likely if they're trying to defuse from here, they'll be overly exposed. So you can fight them from C main.
Spike dropped.
And for this, you'll want to go back to that same altar.
Right here.
Center yourself again, put your back up against it. And this time where you're lining up is the top left corner of this kind of first square pillar right there. So this top left corner is what you're going to focus on. And what you're going to line up is the right corner again of that vertical white rectangle above your molly HUD icon to that corner, just like so.
Molly!
When you shoot this, it does something pretty interesting. It bounces on from the ground and jumps on top to where the bomb is.
Right here. Molly!
So the last molly I'm going to show you guys is probably one of the toughest ones. It's for this left-hand side of this double stack box on C site. But if you manage to get this plant off and you get to post plant, it's super strong because you can just take this jiggle right here where they're super exposed, as opposed to taking these fights where they have the high ground advantage, or you have to wrap around to, you know, see them diffusing. So for this molly, you're just going to want to go to, you know, the front of this mound, and then you see this first square here, just walk up to it till you're at the edge. And for this molly, what you're going to want to focus on is kind of like this dark horizontal line right there, and you're going to focus on this corner, or this right hand side of it is what you're going to line up with. And what you line up with that is you take the white horizontal white line, the left hand side of it, and line it up with where that dark line ends, just like so.
Molly!
When you shoot this, should just do a single bounce and land on the bomb.
Right here. Molly! Spike planted. Open up the sky! Molly!
Enemy spotted B.
Now we're
One enemy remaining.